Hello, everyone. Good evening to Nicola Harris. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you. Thank you for letting me chat with you today. Can you tell me how long have you been a singer for?
Oh, saying that would give away my age. I've been singing since I was 6, and I am, well, let's just say 40 years. Nearly 41 years. I joined a rock band when I was 14, which my dad used to have to come around with me to make sure I was okay. And obviously took me to the gigs with the rock band because I didn't travel with them. My dad would drive me to the gigs and the nightclubs and stuff so I could perform. So I've been performing from a very young age. I was in theatres when I was 6. So yes, I've always been a performer. So it's just in my blood.
Can you tell me about your tribute acts that you do?
Yeah, my tribute acts, Amy Winehouse, Madonna, Shania Twain, Lady Gaga. I've been performing probably, I think it's Madonna's been the longest one I've been performing as, due to the fact that I was very blonde quite some time ago. And every time I put my hair back in a ponytail, people used to say, "Oh, you look like Madonna." I'll go, and then I used to work at a certain place where we'd always get the people on stars in their eyes. And we used to have Neil Diamond and what was it? Neil Diamond and Rod Stewart used to come, and they needed someone to do a break in between. Well, because I was working there in the I was their principal singer at this place. They said, "Oh, Nick, you look like Madonna. Can you do Vogue in between just to give the break between a male artist and another male artist?" So I'd come on with 6 dancers, and I'd sing and dance as Madonna with 6 dancers behind me to Vogue, to a venue that held 3,500 people every night. So I started very young performing to masses of audiences because that was the first one. And then Shania Twain came back end of the 90s doing that. Then the next one was, gosh, now I can't remember. Was it Amy Winehouse or Gaga? I think I started doing Amy first before Lady Gaga. And again, it was just kind of the niche in the market. I'm just quite able. I went to stage school. I'm opera trained. So it's easy for me. Once you get the training, I can adapt my voice to different accents, different languages, different ways of speaking, different ways of singing. So I've always been able to do rock, pop, West End, country, whatever it entails. But my voice has always had a natural twang. So and tribute world's been my as I call it, my day job, very lucrative day job for a very long time.
Tell me about your first single that you released.
Notice Me.
Yeah.
Notice Me, I wrote I think that was at the back end of 2019, which got me noticed for a CMA award. And I was the only female artist in the category that got to the finals, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm new to the scene and I've already been, nominated for an award, which I was just like, pinch me now. Is this right? Is this happening? So yes, so Notice Me did get me noticed. And it was, I'm trying to think. Oh no, that wasn't the song that Una Healy recognised me for in 2020. Because then after that, I'd written a country Christmas song, which my local BBC radio Nottingham played and all over Christmas and stuff, which was nice. So that got that record, and then that's when they started getting more interested in my music. So I've had loads and loads of support by my local Nottingham BBC radio, so which is nice, by Dean Jackson, who last year invited me to play the BBC radio introducing stage at the Long Road Festival. So I was like, oh my god, this is where it all started for me in 2019, watching other artists on there, thinking that's where I want to be, that's what I want to do, and of course then we got lockdown 2020, and Then Long Road Festival still didn't happen in 2021. Then last year, 2022, it did. So it was so weird to think I was there as a guest watching other artists 2019. Then the first time Long Road Festival's back on again, 2022, I worked really hard, wrote loads of songs, social media, and then when you think about it now, it wasn't actually that long, and I was invited to play the BBC Radio introducing stage. So it was like, oh my God, I'm here. So things have moved pretty quick for me, but I don't know whether that's because I'm new to the country scene, but I'm not new to performing on stage or knowing how to work a crowd or how to chat or how to, I'm never lost for words.
Can you tell me about we went to Nashville?
Nashville. Oh, it was amazing. I went to New York for a few days beforehand because I was doing some publicity work as Lady Gaga. So it was absolutely, like how it's been boiling recently. It was absolutely, it was twice as hot, and I'm going around in a PVC outfit as dressed as Lady Gaga in the middle of Times Square. So I had that to do first, and promotional work and pictures and stuff to be taken around New York. Then I moved on to Nashville, where I just chilled, and I'd never seen anything like it in my life. There was country bars everywhere. Wherever you went down the strip, just bands in every shop. It was like a band in every shop window. I know there were clubs and nightclubs, and it was just like, this is, when you have an idea about what you think something's going to be, when you actually get there, you think, it's like they say, never meet the people that you absolutely adore, like your favorite singer, or because you might be really disappointed. I wasn't disappointed at all with Nashville. Nashville was everything I wanted it to be and more. And we went into the Tootsie's bar, and I don't know how the band knew or found out. I don't know, but they invited me on stage to sing a Keith Urban song, and they even knew the song that I sung of Keith Urban's, because there's only two that I do, and they were already going through the riff. And they says, "Oh, we've got a lady from the UK. She's in," and I'm thinking, "Oh, who's that?" Looking around thinking, well, I'm from England, but I'm thinking, because everybody else was talking with Nashville accent and everything. And I was thinking, oh, it'd be nice to know who they are. I wonder what part of England they come from. And then they went, we'd like to invite Nicola Harris on stage. I was like, that's my name as well. There's somebody else in it called Nicola Harris, not realizing they meant me. And then sort of they kept staring at me. I was like, oh my God, I'm singing in Tootsie's bar in Nashville. And then I remember the very second night I was there was the night, early hours of the morning, because of the time difference. I had a call on my mobile from the UK, and it was X Factor asking me if I'd go and audition to be on there the very next day. I'm like, and it sounded so like diva-ish. I went, I can't, I'm in Nashville. It's like, how many people did they phone and say, I'm actually in Nashville? And they were like, oh, when can you get back to the UK? So they catered around me. They worked around when I could get back to do the pretend live audition. Not that they'd not already spoken to me several times beforehand, because I'd sent them in a video of me singing, and I didn't have to queue up with everybody else. It was just one of those, come and see the producers and whatnot. So I'd done that bit before they'd phoned me, and then they phoned to say, we actually want you to come and do I had like 3 auditions before the one that you get to see when they pretend they've never seen me before, when I actually have. So yeah, I had all that whilst I was in Nashville as well. So I just had such an amazing time in Nashville and met so many great people. But then when I did fly back, as soon as I flew back from the airport, I had to get myself in Manchester, and I slept for 2 o'clock. I got into the hotel at 2 o'clock. I think I slept for an hour. Then I had to get up because I had to be at the TV studios in Manchester to film X Factor at early, for godforsaken time of the morning. And then I was probably one of the last ones to be seen because they were just filming me constantly. So when you finally get to see me, I'm drinking coffee all day and I'm like, hi. And I'm running on fumes. But obviously nobody knows my backstory, that I was in New York for 5 days doing promotional work. Then I was in Nashville for 4 nights having the best time ever, and then flying back. And then I got that massive thing to do as soon as I got home. It was just like my brain, I was cooking on gas, trying to keep lighting the fumes. And when there was no camera there, I'd be like, and sleep, I'm back. But that's show business for you.
Can you tell me more about your current single, Perfect Kiss?
Perfect Kiss. Perfect Kiss. It's the follow-on up after You. I don't know if you've heard You, but You went straight to #1 on its day of release last November, which, because Shania Twain is such an amazing woman. I love her voice. I love her lyrics. I love her style. I love what Mutt Lange does with the production. But she brought her album out, and when I came out, I was actually above her for 2 whole days. I was like, oh my God, Shania Twain is just under me. And then on the 3rd day, there was Shania above me, and then I was 2nd and she was 3rd. And I went, you know what? I'm happy with Shania Twain sandwich as well. That'll suit me fine. So, and I had a guy called Preston D. Barnes. I asked him if he'd duet with me after producing it with Tim Protty Jones. And I said, can you recommend, like, I need that sort of rock country edge, because, you know, I'm not, let's just say I'm not a high-pitched girly voice. I'm more of a, because I was in rock bands when I was younger, I've got more of an attack, and I'm more sort of blokey when I sing. I needed that same energy, and he recommended Preston D. Barnes, who was on The Voice. So it was almost like X Factor meets Preston D. Barnes, The Voice. So we came to collaborate. He was amazing, great to work with, such a lovely guy. So it was the back off of that. I thought, right, because I have 3 other singles to release quite soon, but I just wanted things to calm down a bit. And Perfect Kiss is a song I wrote with an ex of mine over 20 years ago. And it was brought to my attention that him and his current partner had brought out some songs, and 2 of them were mine. No acknowledgement, but I thought, fine, 2 can play that game. So I thought, you know what? I'm not gonna spend a lot of money on, you know, producing this or PR or anything. I just thought it is a great song. I'm proud of it. So I'm gonna revamp it, have it reproduced by a gentleman, Roland, who lives in the Netherlands, and, you know, re-record it. And just sort of, you know, put it out there, see how it goes down. And I was really happy with the reception, because it's very different to You that I wrote, because obviously it was a collaboration with an ex-partner of mine, and my style is it's quite a bit more modern than his. So I was always trying to make it sound a bit more modern country, whereas he was a little bit more of the older country. And I'm like, no, we need to move things forward. I went, listen to Shania Twain. And at the time I was listening to a lot of Anastasia, and to me, she was almost country, but obviously that I love, you know, if you brought it down a bit, it could sound country. So I was listening to a lot of Anastasia at the time when we wrote Perfect Kiss, and you know, and obviously Shania Twain at the time. And I was thinking, imagine a collaboration between Anastasia and Shania Twain would be electric. So I was trying to have that sort of input, and obviously he was still thinking more. He was sort of further back. So obviously with You being all mine, all, you know, all my thoughts, ideas, melody, whatever. That was, I wanted to bring that out before bringing out something that I'd collaborated on, just to have something of my own, to sort of say, look, I'm a singer-songwriter, and I write on my own. This is all mine. Whereas you then listening to Perfect Kiss after you've heard something I've done on my own, you then realise what elements of Perfect Kiss I did. So, you know, so you don't have those people come back every now and again and start saying, I wrote that song. I'm like, you didn't know, did you? We did it together. And I will always say if I've collaborated on something. At the moment, I'm collaborating on something with a really great musician and singer called Mike Dill, and he lives in Virginia. and we're undercurrent working on something together at the moment, which is really exciting, and I can't wait to sort of hear the final mix, because I've done my bits, he's done his bits, and now we're waiting for the final mix. And it's just so nice now to be collaborating with people in different countries. So Perfect Kiss I wanted to bring out just because it's a great song, and I thought, well, I'm going to bring it out before I bring out the next three that I've done all on my own again, because I just wanted a little stopgap in between. Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for chatting to me today. Can you tell my listeners where can I find you on social media?
Social media, I'm Nicola Harris Official on everything. I'm Nicola Harris Official on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, where you'll find some really random videos, but fun. Yes, and I am on Twitter, but I can never remember what it is. I think it's Nicola_Harris, but that's one that I've had for years. And to be fair, I'm not really a Twitter goer. I'm much better found on Instagram, to be fair, or Facebook. So yeah, if you want to find me, DM me on there, or on my website, Nicola Harris Official, and you can find me on there. Send me a message.
Thank you for chatting to me today. I can play Your Perfect Kiss on Johnston Sound. So
thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Thank you.
Goodbye, Nicola.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.